everybody, it's me, Zach, and welcome back to my channel.
Who is that they, them on my screen?
Hey everybody, hi, hello, welcome to me. Welcome to me, Zachary Marie. Hi, hello, it's so good to have you all back here today. And today's video is going to be a little bit all over the place because we're not going to react to a full anything today. I was going to potentially watch the last Texas vlog that she finally put out. Y'all know she only just went to Texas in March, and we're just finally getting the conclusion of the Texas content. Crazy. So then I started thinking, well, if y'all waited that long for Rosie to just post her last Texas content, then y'all can wait potentially another day or two for me to get around to reacting to that. If you even want me to react to it at all at this point. You know, I don't even know if there's anything of relevance in there, anything of interest in there. But when I woke up this morning, one of my moderators sent me a DM with several screenshots of a particular person from the Girl World community, a Girl World OG, if you will, who was trying to challenge Rosie. But then what shook me even more than Michael B. Petty showing back up into this corner of the internet, what shook me even more was the fact that this was all happening in a live stream with Stefan, i.e. the guy who created the Paradise House that this documentary that Rosie's about to be in is about. Okay? And she was on live stream with him. So I just want to remind you a little bit about what this fucking docuseries is even supposed to be about. The production itself gives this descriptor for when you go and find this on like HBO's streaming platform, right? This is how they're selling this particular docuseries. It says, Big Girls Wanted, Escaping Paradise. Paradise promised safety in a utopia for plus-size women. The sisterhood turns dark as allegations of assault and coercion spread among the women. I also found an Us Weekly article on the internet that talks a little bit more about it. It even quotes our girl, although it doesn't quote her by name, but it quotes our girl. For example, it says, he's selling a fantasy. You'll be loved here, worshipped like a goddess, but they don't tell you the price that you pay, one woman said in the trailer, while another added, he says, this is just a body positive space, and I just love fat women, and it's totally innocent when it's totally not. The article right after that quotation goes on to say, several women previously accused him of manipulation, victimization, coercion, and sexual assault while part of the community. After they shared their allegations on social media, he sued 4 of the women for defamation and related claims. However, the court sided with the women and dismissed all of his and Paradise's claims and instructed him to pay attorney's fees according to the Randazza Legal Group's website. So, Miss Rosie, who's all about not, like, let's think about this. Just last week, was it? She did that whole ragey video where she raged on and on and on about how gross Keemstar is and how gross Keemstar is because he exploits people. He exploits the people in the LCU. He was exploiting the victims who chose that platform to go and share their stories. They, regardless of how you feel about the LCU, those victims chose to go there. Also, admittedly, Keemstar is gross, is weirdly, alright, is not a good man, not a good human. And she just had all that criticism for the LCU and for people going on and sharing their stories on the LCU.
Part of me that was like, man, I wish I could, like, just say anything. But I also knew one that wasn't a good idea, and 2, you won't catch me giving that monster money. And any of you that have. Anyway, this is, I want to highlight the parts that people have forgotten or just don't know about based on what spaces of the internet they've existed in and what years. Keemstar is a monster. There's a reason I was so offended when Amber came to me and was like, maybe we should do an LCU show together, like a half a year before she ended up on the LCU. Like, I would never willingly associate myself with that. I have no issue with the other hosts personally. I don't know much about them. But Keemstar being like the ringleader of all the LOL cows and exploiting all these mentally ill people after what he did to Etika is insane.
But now she fully participated in this docuseries that's supposed to highlight how awful, how bad this man is. And now she's paneling up with him on TikTok live streams? She's going on TikTok live streams with this man, hearing this man out. And the documentary that she is a part of is making claims that he has manipulated, victimized, coerced, and sexually assaulted several women while they were a part of this house, a part of this community. And he even failed at suing the women for defamation. He even failed at that because the court sided with the women. And Rosie wants to get on her moral high ground and sit over here and criticize people for going on Lolcow, going and talking to Keemstar about what's going on with this. And she's willing to go sit and talk to the man who did it himself? Rosie, what in the hell are we doing here? I genuinely don't understand. You make no goddamn sense. Listen, I get it. People are sometimes hypocritical, sometimes contradict themselves. I'm sure I have multiple times. But you literally just last week were ranting and raving about the ways that Keemstar has abused, has manipulated, has exploited people, and you said nobody should go on that man's YouTube channel. And now look at you on a live stream with a guy who you feel it's important enough to go sit in a documentary and talk about him, which, like, let me also be clear. I believe he did all of those things. I already said that Stefan was in my comments trying to say, along with many others' comments, let's just be clear about that. But he was already in my comments saying that he was available for interviews if I wanted. And I have no desire to platform this gross, creepy old man. I just really, truly don't. But for Rosie, who is apparently just trying to make this all about her, even though I watched part of the stream and we're gonna watch parts of it together. And part of the stream, she fully even agrees that she's never met this man. She can't speak to knowing him in person, things like that. But she's gonna go on here. Oh God, she has nothing to do with this. She's making it all the fuck about her. It's just exhausting at this point. And that's obviously the most important, like, what the fuck here. But that doesn't even go on to, like, highlight the true what the fuckery. The true what the fuckery of, like, girl, didn't you just tell all your members that you weren't capable of doing live streams for them? But let me just say, the reason we're not watching the entirety of this time that she spent on Stefan's, like, little TikTok live stream, the reason we're not watching the whole thing is because it's like 2 to 3 hours. And not to mention that, but she was also guesting in Xiomara's live streams on TikTok and things like that. Just absolutely, utterly fucking ridiculous that she has all the time in this world to go try to, like, get clout and attention from this very serious subject and situation, all because she's in a documentary where they wanted to, I guess, get her expertise on feederism. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Also, mind you, she's the one that's been sitting here going on and on and on about how, like, she thinks people should just wait and see what the documentary says before they just make all these assumptions. And she's sitting out here yapping to anybody who will fucking listen, it's just truly, truly, truly so wild. And yeah, those are my general thoughts. Those are my general thoughts. So we can watch parts of the stream. I'm going to watch it via Nikki T. I'll leave a link to this specific stream that Nikki T did. In a pinned comment, Nikki has some timestamps, so I'm just going to use some of those for guiding what we listen to and when. And then I also went and found a timestamp of when an old friend of mine, Michael B. Petty, finds his way into the chat and has some challenging things to say to Rosie, and I think even tries to get them to let him come on the panel to confront Rosie himself, but it seems that they don't end up letting that happen or allowing that to happen. Which I also find fascinating. And to be honest, I just gotta give a shout out to Michael for keeping up with this shit, apparently just for the love of the game. The reason that Michael being a part of this today, or whenever this happened, I'm sure they were streaming like in the middle of the night when I was asleep, because I woke up to a lot of this news. I do want to say why Michael being here also slays me is at one point when Rosie was ranting about how awful and terrible I am, she had something to say about how it was a good thing that Michael left Girl World when he did.
I have a Snark on Reddit? Oh, I didn't even know that. Okay. Welcome to the internet. That doesn't surprise me. I don't seek shit out about myself. Literally, I would bet $1 million if Michael B. Petty had stuck around, that would have been him. But he left in his prime. That's why he has such like a gold standard lens. Yeah, I don't fuck with Zachary Michael at all. I don't hide that.
And if anything, it was a good thing for Rosie's memories of Michael B. Petty because Miss Ma'am would be real sad to find out that Michael ain't never liked her ass. Michael was one of the first people in my DMs to start sounding the alarms about her weirdly behavior, because he saw that I had mentioned her a couple times, or mentioned like watching her vlogs and things like that, and he was like, Zach, I don't know if you know the full tea about Miss Rosie. So Michael, truly one of the first people to ever sound the alarm on her, so I'm not surprised that sounded the alarm to me. One of the first, let me clarify, because I know people will be like, no, so-and-so's been talking about Rosie forever. What I mean is he's one of the first people to talk to me directly and be like, you better watch out for Miss Rosie. And I think actually my response at the time was like, I don't know, like, yeah, she seems like maybe a little bit of a mess, but like, I'm gonna keep her at an arm's length until obviously she just like went cray-cray. I also want to say, since we are using a live stream from Nikki T, I do just want to note that Nikki T is somebody that Rosie has like personally been mad about in the past. She is somebody that Rosie has gotten mad at Pulpy for giving a shout out to. And that's because Nikki at one point did have some kind of relationship with Cam, who is one of the biggest perpetrators when it comes to going in real life with Rosie. And in fact, Cam was the one that on Levi's last birthday sent Rosie the email that had the name of the person that Rosie alleges assaulted her. And so after that point, as far as I can tell, Nikki has like ended involvement in that. But anytime I bring up Nikki, somebody brings it up in the comments, so I just want to be clear about that connection there. I go out of my way to not necessarily endorse any other channels in Girl World, but I do always make it a point to try to credit where I'm seeing stuff, where I'm hearing stuff from, and Nikki is a living archive of Rosie content and stuff. And if there's something that Rosie has done on the internet and you're trying to find the receipts for it, it is very possible that Nikki has it. And so to that extent, I can't speak to Nikki T as a person. There have been people in the past that are like, I don't think you should support Nikki. I don't think you should do this. I don't think you should do that. I'm simply letting you all know where I got the tea from. I also in the past was skeptical of her relationship with Cam. I think Cam is a nasty person. I also think she has tried, as far as I know, to distance herself from that previous relationship with him. And when it comes to changing yourself and doing better, that's all I can really ask for. Anyways, all of that aside, let's get to, and let's watch some of this stupid ass involvement in Stefan's stream that Rosie had going on. All right, so just to give you an overview of what you're looking at, again, this is a video from Nikki T, and it is her live streaming in real time Stefan's live stream on TikTok, okay? And so in the upper left-hand corner, you'll see Stefan. These other two women, the one below Stefan, I think her name is Shelby, and the one to the right of Stefan, I think is Minxie. I don't know what their relationship to anything is, to be honest with you. I do think there's also other people who pop up on panel from time to time. So I can't give you a ton of info about that. I'm just here to say that's who you're looking at. And then obviously Rosie in the bottom right-hand corner.
I am being fucking railroaded right now by everybody, by all sides. And if it wasn't...
Sorry, please continue. I don't mean to interrupt you.
If it wasn't for Shelby...
Is that too loud for you guys? Let me know.
Audrey and Rissa...
mostly also because Nikki wants this for receipts. She doesn't like pause and talk over it too often. She just wants it in real time. So no worries about that. But if you do hear her, that's obviously Nikki.
And like, the last remaining like real people in my life right here, and like even Minxie coming back up and Shelby making peace there, and like, this is terrible. Paradise was supposed to be something positive, and where has it gotten us? On a fucking murder mystery channel. Okay. Sorry, now your turn.
No, you're fine, and I apologize. I'm not trying. You gave me that's my time to speak, so I'm not trying to be rude. So, the first thing I want to say out the gate, because
she said, "I'm gonna be so nice and respectful to this man that I went and participated in a whole docuseries to talk about how awful he was. I'm gonna be so kind and respectful." Mind you, she's too afraid to go live while experiencing her period because she's worried she's going to be too cranky. Mind you, she couldn't control herself to calmly talk about Girl World or Keemstar, but she's being calm, peaceful, respectful, not interrupting this man. Like, again, I don't get it.
It seems to me it's pretty clear that you haven't seen anything that's come directly from me and my content, because I don't involve myself with the LCU. I think that shit's disgusting. I will never involve myself in the LCU, and I am frustrated that all of this is even involved in that universe, because that's grimy garbage content. I called it moldy hot dog water, to be specific.
It's grimy garbage content, and yet here she is talking to a man with serious allegations of assault and coercion and manipulation. Like,
want to be involved in it at all. But I want to state that this entire time through this process, the timing of Shay's passing is horrible. Regardless of my opinion of you or any person involved, anyone who knew Shay is a human being and deserves grace and time to mourn. And this is a layer of complexity that is deeply upsetting. And I had no relationship with Shay. I never interacted with her.
Okay, then why are you there, Rosie? Why are you here right now? Like I also don't know anything about Shay. I don't know her involvement in this. I know that she passed away and that the timing is maybe coincidental in terms of like how recent it was in terms of this documentary also coming out, but I don't know much more than that. But Rosie's out here saying she doesn't know this person personally, and then she's also saying that like Stefan deserves time to like grieve and process that and things like that. Like what is the point of you coming on here and saying that for this man who's done awful, terrible things to people? Allegedly, or been accused of, I guess I should say, just to cover my bases, since apparently he likes to sue people for defamation.
I even knew about her or of her, so I won't speak on her as a person, and I haven't this entire time.
And yet you're here.
I will never want to disrespect that, and regardless of my opinion of you, which I have many, and I'm the kind of person where if I say something behind your back, I'll say it to your face, right? I'm not going to sit here and pretend that, like, you know, you're someone I would want to be friends with. But I will sit here and say that you're a human being, and that was someone that was close to you, and you have your right to your grief. At the same time, in that grief, I think there's room for grace. However, I find it interesting that that was your first response to when you were acting out in your wrongdoing towards the situation, toward me specifically. Because yes, you are grieving, and there is a layer there where I find understanding, and I don't ever want to discredit that. But I do want to point out that that was your first response, instead of just holding the accountability for your actions that I do have in screen recording that
Rosie talking about anybody else taking accountability for their actions when she can't come close to accepting accountability for even the smallest of her missteps, the smallest of her mistakes, let alone the big ones, is just wild to me. It's very much on par, on course for Rosie. She very much does expect things out of other people that she doesn't hold herself to. But it is just wild knowing that Rosie is just a history of not taking accountability for her own problems, her own behaviors, her own actions.
You did say when you did not have the information.
Like, which part are you talking about?
You were calling me a bitch when you were talking about, in the last live when, this live was very different, but the last live when I joined in and someone saw my name and I was dogpiled on for almost 30 minutes, and you said specifically to me that you watched my prior corn content related to feederism.
I didn't watch it. Somebody sent me a clip. Because I had no idea who you are. Like,
okay,
the whole time.
Then I may have misconstrued that clip then. Okay. All right, fair enough. You might have said it. I know English isn't your first language.
That one thing that's real is I think Rosie is learning the price you pay. like she's learning the price you pay, and it's subjecting yourself to this nonsense, I guess, whatever it takes for the clout.
So okay.
It's completely.
And I may have misunderstood that, but that was a very upsetting situation for me. And that is something that is thrown in my face constantly as someone who, again, you may not know my story, but I'm an ex-feedie. I left feederism in a very...
An ex-feedie, but again, I think I've said this, and I stand by this. Like, the feeder content she was doing was much more explicit than what she's doing on YouTube, right? Like, much more explicit, and I can understand why she wants to make a differentiation between, what she did in that Matilda parody versus what she does on YouTube. I would say what she does on YouTube, though, is still feeder adjacent, and I think that because of just my history of watching her content, of watching similar content, my history of hearing her listen to her initial, like, starting of a YouTube platform and what felt acceptable to her in terms of, like, not, like, crossing the line with feeder content and things like that. One thing, I guess, that does stay consistent about Rosie is that she loves to set a boundary that she doesn't keep. And I guess that includes, like, originally her boundary was that eating on camera was too close to feeder content, and she's now changed her opinion about that. But I've watched her too much. I've seen too much to just sit and watch her shovel, like, pizza rolls into her mouth while sitting on a live stream to be like, this is at best feeder adjacent, diva. It's like, yeah, maybe you're not doing it sexually anymore, maybe you're not doing it for money in the same way anymore, but you're doing it for money in general. Like, this is what people are paying to be members of your channel to see. This is what people are clicking on your videos to watch. This is all your content essentially is, outside of these, like, really late Texas vlogs, and even a lot of the Texas vlogs were you eating. And so, I don't know, her going on about escaping feederism or whatever is it just continues to be fascinating. That this is her story, and listen, she can have whatever story she likes, but and maybe that's true to her definition of all of these things in this current time, but I do think she's lacking self-awareness to realize just like what it all looks like.
Big way. I have a podcast interview that I did on the We're All Insane podcast.
Mind you, that's the podcast that Remy was like, ooh, I gotta meet this girl. Ooh, I gotta get with this girl.
Where I bore my fucking soul on everything I've been through. And Girl World has relentlessly tried to discredit me and make me out into a liar, and like my trauma isn't real, when it very much is.
I heard about that. Like, and then again,
she bringing up Girl World too. Mind you, all of this taking away from opportunities for, well, maybe not necessarily opportunities for survivors to talk, because I don't think. Well, I don't know. I don't know if that's something that Stefan engages in. Like, I don't know if these other victims of his are offered to be on panel with him. I feel like they probably wouldn't want to be on panel. Like, that's also what's so crazy to me, is she thinks that survivors going on Keemstar's show are being exploited, but she's basically giving, like, the biggest FU to people who survived by going and giving this man the time of day. By going and giving this man the benefit of the doubt. She's over here saying he deserves grace. What do you mean?
it's just gossip. It's just hearsay.
Right.
I never went for any receipts or whatever. Those YouTube channels are relentless about you, girl. Like,
I know.
Why? Like, I mean, this is an honest question.
Yes.
Like, why are you still on social media with that?
Because I'm not going to let them drive me off.
Okay,
Because I'm not going to let them.
It's a
I'm
pride
not going
issue.
to let them. A pride issue? I don't agree with that.
No, that's what I mean.
Okay, well, Stefan, let me ask you the same question.
Yeah,
You have a lot
I'll
of
tell
shame.
I'll tell you. For me, it's a pride issue. I will not let fucking Piggy Stardust run me off of the internet with a fucking SA for Entertainment campaign. I'm not. Like, if I
do recall, he goes on to say, and Piggy Stardust is somebody that was in the trailer. I don't know the tea about that, and so we might skip over that just for relevance. I'm wondering, I need to go down and scroll and look at the next timestamp to see how far away we are from it. Maybe we'll skip ahead to 47:41. We're almost there anyways. Yeah, let's skip over the Piggy Stardust stuff just because I don't know the details of that and I don't have anything to add. So we're skipping ahead a little bit. There's a new person on panel. I think the Minxie person left. And there's a new person named Star. And Star's going to ask some pointed questions as well. So stay tuned for that because I did watch that part too. And for me and my family, I was like, yeah, let's ask Rosie that. Let's ask Rosie what the fuck we're doing here. So let's get to.
With my own eyeballs, where there's been many situations where I feel like you do not hold yourself accountable, you deflect, you also do perpetrate. I mean, you did it to me. I watched you misinterpret the messages right directly in front of your face on multiple occasions.
The message from you to me?
Yeah.
Mind you, Rosie's never deflected accountability. Rosie's never misinterpreted messages.
Yes.
Okay.
When you were saying things that were not true with the screenshots right in your front face, I don't fuck with that. I don't like that.
But
she's talking about I think she's talking about the messages that they exchanged between each other, which, in my opinion, it still stands that, like, I don't know that it inherently, like, those DMs that Rosie shared on her own, I don't know that those made him necessarily look bad outside of, like, that he is clearly interested in BBW women, has a whole Discord dedicated to it, etc. But all he said was hi, and she was like, oh my god, I'd love to come to Vegas and visit your house. So it's just like, I don't understand why she keeps coming back to these DMs, because they just, I at best, I think they're just showing that they talked, right? Like, it does show that she has some history with him. But outside of that, it's like a nothing burger. And it makes her look bad, if anything. I don't think she inherently looks bad, but I just don't think it makes her look good. I guess I should say that.
I'm deceptive, Stefan.
You told me that there was a message where you said you want to come here.
Yes.
And it's not this.
So what happened, from my very vague memory, is I found you organically on TikTok.
Oh, wait, somebody in the chat, FizzerFiner3000 said, Rosie, you accused Zachary Michael of grooming you. Yeah, that's why I honestly, I'm very much a, like, believe all victims things. Oh, that's one thing that I should have left in from the Piggy Stardust thing, because Rosie goes on and on about believing all victims, and people in Nikki's chat were like, what do you mean believe all victims? Like, you didn't believe Jeff's victims. Like, the people that accused Jeff. If you don't know, Jeff / Blue Bear was a guy that she was, like, seeing prior to now dating Remy. And stuff came out that he was, like, accused of assaulting somebody. And she refused to believe that person. So there's that. But also, the comments, that person commenting about accusing me, her accusing me of grooming her into being the next Amber Lynn specifically was the language she used. It's why I find issue when she does talk about, like, being groomed into other things. It's a phrase she uses a lot, and it's why I do take some levels of issues with that, because it's like, I know that that's, like, not even close to being the truth about what happened between me and Rosie, and so it's like, yeah, it does make me pause about the other things she said that about.
Prior to anything blowing up regarding you, I found you, and I was like, I saw the videos, and I saw what was happening, and I was like, oh, if I ever go to Vegas, that would be so cool. At the time, I was actively in feederism, but you made a lot of disgusting comments as well about how, like, oh, I probably was just in your Discord because I was looking for feedy stuff and it wasn't there. Like, that's just gross.
Rosie.
That's a gross thing to say, Stefan.
I'm curious. Can I ask you a question, hon?
Yes.
Okay, this is Star. This is Star, the person that's in the bottom right-hand corner now.
I don't know.
What's your goal outcome in this whole entire situation?
That part.
My goal outcome?
Yeah, like, what is your purpose involvement in this whole situation?
That's a very valid question, yeah.
I think that is a good question, but I feel like that falls under stuff that I would want to discuss revolving NDAs, as well as the fact of having, I said in the beginning of this,
not necessarily, because you're giving a lot of output. Go ahead, what?
Thank you, I have to finish my answer. What I was saying was, I do not want to speak on my involvement in a docuseries until it is out, and I'm
not talking about the docuseries, honey. I'm talking about the situation with Stefan you were just speaking of. What is your goal outcome of your involvement with the situation right here at hand?
Right, I think that's I think there's probably some questions that can be asked about, like, why she's involved in the docuseries, and we might get more answers about that once we see the actual docuseries itself. But that question right there about, even if we're just talking about this live stream, like, Rosie, what is your goal being on a stream with this man who's been accused of hurting these people that you allegedly care about? Like, I don't understand what the goal is here.
Oh, like with this conversation?
No, with everything. With everything, not the docuseries. We don't have to talk about that. Okay. I understand the NDA. I'm talking about the whole involvement in your situation of what's going on that you're bringing up within this whole conversation the last, 7 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, that is a good question. I'd like a second to think on it.
I've just been curious this whole time. Yeah. I'm also a follower. I know I've been watching Paradise since 2020, and I get your side of what, like, you're saying, but I don't understand the reasoning. I don't understand your reasoning. And
it's just wild that she doesn't have an answer already prepared there. And I really feel like the reason that is because her actual, authentic, genuine answer is that she just wants attention. But she can't say that, so now she's like, well, how do I come up with something that I can justify being on this accused, like, predators live stream? It's just so goofy for her to like previously rant about how awful Keemstar is, which, yes, but also get mad at people for using his platform to share their stories, and then go here and talk to the actual predator himself. Like, I don't know what her goal is, and that's why kudos to Star for asking these questions, because I would like some answers that Rosie does not have.
What your goal outcome is of all this.
Can I say something really quick? Star, thank you for coming up. I can answer that question really quick for myself. My goal, my outcome is I want to allow people
Well, nobody was asking you, Stefan. Nobody is asking you why you're on this live stream. I think it's probably goes without saying the various reasons why you're doing this live stream.
see my side of the story because I'm being accused, allegations, exaggerations, all this kind of shit. I'm being pushed in the corner, you know.
Right.
I'm defending myself. I am here to defend myself on bus, on LC. Believe me, LCU, like we can have a whole discussion about LCU, right? They invited me on the show. I did it. I don't have any regrets. They treated me with respect. I got a chance to speak. I didn't get a chance to show any evidence, but my goal is for people to understand that I'm being railroaded by a political campaign more than anything else, and I'm more than willing to take accountability where it's properly.
Stefan, I don't give a shit. Do not need to hear from you. Do not need to hear from you.
It's due, and I have on stream, and so basically when I'm approached properly, like, you know, I'm very much willing to always, even this whole situation right now, Rosie coming in, I said, Rosie, come up, like let's have a civil discussion, right? I cannot say this loud enough. SA is never entertainment, and making something into SA that wasn't really any, and then adding all this extra bullshit on top of it to make me look like a fucking criminal is not okay. Like,
just so you know, his at least his allegations about Piggy Stardust that we skipped over, just for context here for what he's saying, is that Piggy Stardust apparently somewhere posted that she finds accusations, allegedly, according to this man. He has screenshots that he can send, apparently. But apparently she was posted somewhere that she finds allegations about sexual assault to be entertainment or something like that. I don't know that he ever shows that proof, at least in this live stream. Nor do I trust him as a concept. But just so you have the context of what he's talking about while we wait for whatever Rosie's response to this question is going to be.
Exactly.
I stand against that. If somebody comes to me and I ever did something, and I ever made somebody uncomfortable, you know, if I did something or said something or whatever the fuck it may be, that I did something where I crossed the line or like I broke somebody's boundary, I always tell people, please come to me. Like, I don't bite. I don't attack. Like, if you tell me something that I did,
you don't attack, but you sued people for defamation for their allegations about sexual assault, and you lost your defamation case, Diva. Diva.
I will get the cat back out of the tree. I'm going to make sure that, like, we leave after the discussion, after my apologies, we leave the table, if not friends, at least we're going to leave the table as, like, the beef is squashed.
He's weird.
And
he's weird.
And
he's basically upset that those women didn't come to the person that they were accusing of heinous things to try to work it out and make it work. Weirdly.
And that's exactly what adults should do. There's a lot of high school...
It's also... Sorry, there was just a comment from Nikki's chat that said... QLR failing to stand on business as per usual. And that's so real. That's, like, actually so real. Like, this is exactly the girl who will be like, I don't fuck with, trans rights. Like, if you got something to say about trans people, like, I don't fuck with you. And then the second she has the opportunity to confront her friend Amberlynn Reed about an alleged transphobic comment that Amberlynn made, she's crickets. She's all like, I don't fuck with people who don't treat kids well. I don't fuck with people who don't treat kids right. Then the second that Shani for Christ is in her chat, she's crickets. She's crickets. And now she's been spending the past, 2 weeks since that trailer came out, going on and on and on about how this man is so problematic, so awful, so terrible, which it sounds like he really is. And she's in a place where she could be calling his ass out, and it's crickets. It's crickets, Rosie. In fact, it's more than crickets. You're over here saying that he deserves grace. Like, wild.
Type childish drama when we're all supposed to be women, proud women, not dogging other women. You know, there's just so much. It's ridiculous to me as a woman to see this kind of crap going on.
And that's why
within the women alone. I'm just talking about like basically the women's scenario situation right here.
Yeah.
You know, it's sad because women are supposed to hype other women up. And I see a lot of women dragging women down in all aspects. And it's sad.
Now,
it really is.
I'm curious because it really is a valid question. Like, Rosie, what would you like to happen? I'm obviously
Also,
promising you.
there was another comment from somebody in Nikki's chat that was like, beef and it's literally about sexual assault allegations. Like, that's wild. That's wild. Like, if we're really sitting over here talking about being girls and things like that, then we need to believe the people who have accused this man of doing these horrible things. Like, why any woman would want to stand next to this man? Very confusing to me. Very confusing to me. You want to be a girl's girl. One thing you're not doing is paneling up with this man.
Right here, right now, we can have peace. Like, I'll stop talking about you. I won't post about you anymore. I'm not going to bully you, drag you, anything. If people come in my chat and they talk shit about you, I'm going to shut it down. Because at the end of the day, I'm a pretty peaceful guy. And, you know, that...
I think I want to state, to kind of answer the question, I think the reason I kind of impulsively decided to do this was because, one, when I said what I said, I kind of saw it click in your head. So I was like, okay, maybe an actual conversation can be had. And then secondly was when you were talking, oh shit, just flew out of my head. God damn it.
Rain's going 180, I know.
Yeah, no, this is just a lot of pressure because I also know how this is just gonna fucking blow up for me tomorrow in my life, but whatever.
No.
I just think that
The fact that she didn't have to be on this live to begin with, the fact that she did not have to participate this and to begin with, it just blows my mind. And now she's like, and the chaos this is gonna cause me in my life tomorrow. Girl, please be so serious.
I really want, God damn it, I had something really important to say. God damn it.
Why would it blow up for you? You're being very reasonable.
Oh no, like this is being sugar recorded. Like I'm talking about Girl World. I'm just saying like this is something that.
Oh, Girl World. It's Girl World's fault that you're getting on a panel with somebody you've sat here and accused of being a predator. Remember just moments ago when she was talking about how Stefan was like skirting accountability, deflecting, etc. And now she's like, Girl World's gonna blow up on me tomorrow because I'm doing this live stream. Well, yes, because it's a dumb live stream to do, Diva. It's stupid. Why are you on this panel?
It's gonna get twisted, whatever, because that's why I'm making it very clear, like, I'm not here to, like, make amends with you or, like, be friends with you, but at the end of the day, like, I am someone who is able to have peaceful conversations. I felt like I wanted, in a way, to, like...
Insane.
Explain myself as well. And, the reason, that's what I was gonna say, is when I did impulsively decide to come up here was because I felt like I wanted to defend myself as well. And it's something that...
Also, talking about being impulsive and stuff, again, just because she's so adamant about not being like Chantal and Amberlynn, how many times has Chantal blamed her rage and things like that on being impulsive? Just how many times? Give or take.
I'm not like... I've been taking so much shit because I'm one of the few people that's choosing to not like pick huge fights and like start crazy drama and like get into like huge blowouts and
I'm one of the few people not willing to engage in huge fights. Girl, you just posted 2 videos, 1 calling out Keemstar and 2 calling out all of Girl World. What do you mean?
sensationalize shit because none of us have seen it, and like there's so much speculation and people talking about how I'm inserting in myself, and when it's like you have no idea how I was involved in this project and how early involved I was in it. No one knows that information. So
I know, but like you also have to admit, you have to agree, the whole world sees this trailer and they see you in the middle of a big ass controversy about like some really, really dark and criminal topics, and
the dark and criminal topics being the man that's talking right now, but I digress.
So they have questions.
absolutely, you know what? And that's why I've been taking it on the chin. You know what I mean? Like that's why I'm waiting. And that's why I'm choosing my involvement in that way. Because that's why, like, when Risa was, like, saying stuff about me, when other women around you were, like, kind of poking and prodding, I wasn't, like, I'm not here to fight with y'all. I'm not here to get into beef with other women. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm not. Like, I've done that, even somewhat in recent history, but that's in, like, other spaces and other shit with, like, Amber and whatever. Like, I absolutely have a past in that. But that's not who I am now. I'm trying to move forward.
It's not who she is now, you guys. It was just her a couple months ago, but it's not who she is now. She's a changed person.
And being. And so...
Mind you, she inserted herself into this nonsense to begin with. She was never even at his house.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's just like... I guess to answer your question, Star, I also not only wanted to defend myself, but I wanted an opportunity to just be like, I make it very clear that I'm not here to talk about the docuseries. I'm not here to do all of that. But there are other parts of this scenario that I feel like can be discussed.
So, Rosie, do you think that I am like force feeding people or stuff here?
Yeah, what's your outlook on Stefan?
Like, be honest, no?
Shelby's messy. Shelby's like, yeah, tell us what you think about Stefan. Let's do it.
Filter, like, you bring it. What, like...
I think you're not honest about a proclivity for feederism. I don't know. I'm not saying you're putting people in your basement against their will and tying them up and force feeding them. I don't know the specifics, but I think you're not being honest about your involvement in feederism. That's my opinion.
Do you believe that because of certain...
All right, okay, kind of trying to stand on business, Rosie. Okay, kind of.
People and certain narratives, feederism has gotten like a fucking terrible side negative connotation on the internet because people are making it look bad when in reality there is so much worse. Like all this death feederism, all that kind of shit that's happening on Phoebe.
It's disgusting.
And at Paradise, we have family dinners. So it's like...
I'm gonna be honest. I don't really want to fully dive into that because for me, feederism is a big, it's a big...
You don't want to dive into it, but you just said this man isn't being honest about his involvement in feederism. So now that he's pushing back on that, you can't have it. It can't be a topic. What?
Yo.
She is so irritating.
And you haven't seen my We're All Insane podcast interview where I talk about my experiences there. And
she said, if you haven't seen content that I am a part of, go check it out. Go learn about me. Go watch me. Diva, and this is why people think you're looking for clout. You're redirecting people to go learn about you instead of engaging in whatever the topic is supposed to be. You're here for clout, Diva.
And you don't know my story, and I don't want to trauma dump, and I don't want to go there right now.
It's okay, you don't have to. I saw a little bit about it. You were in an abusive relationship, right? You can say that.
I'm not going into my trauma with you, Stefan. I don't find this to be a safe space for that.
But you put it out there on a podcast.
Right. You can't put stuff out on the internet and not expect people to ask questions.
Why can't we talk about it?
You can ask the questions, but I don't have to answer them.
I do agree. She doesn't have to answer them, and it is different if she felt comfortable on that podcast talking about it. What I think is really the argument they need to be making is, girl, you just accused this man of being into feederism, but now we can't ask you more questions about feederism as a concept because this is apparently what you're the expert on in this documentary. It's what you seem to be accusing him of. So what exactly are we doing here if we can't talk about your history with feederism? Like, that's the part that's ridiculous. She's allowed to... The way consent works, in case you guys didn't know, is you're allowed to revoke it whenever you want. So just because you've talked about it before doesn't mean you have to sit here and talk to Stefan of all people. But then also, like, I don't understand why she's here talking to Stefan to begin with. Somebody that she agrees is a predator, is a bad person. It don't make no sense to me.
No, that's fine.
That's fine.
That's valid.
You would never
Hold on.
fucking
Really quick.
I just have something to say. I don't know if you know me, but my name's Audrey. I can't see her, but like, I just hope, like, in the documentary, like, because I think I've seen you also on, like, I was on the Whatever podcast, and I saw you on there.
Yeah.
And I think your feelings for feederism and, like, not liking that stuff is valid. Like, if you had, like, I gained my weight from being in a feeder relationship where, like, he thought I was too cute as a skinnier girl to be with him, and, like, he was very insecure. Like, he openly told me that he would, like, bring me, like, food and stuff.
Okay, I don't, with all respect to Audrey, I don't know if I need to hear her story specifically. So we're getting into almost an hour of filming. And I still would like to see a little bit more. So there's one part. The one part I want to see left from the timestamps that Nikki has is when Rosie promotes her channel, because I think that that's just, like, so important to this conversation about what's Rosie's real motivation for being here. Well, clout. She wants people to go follow her. She wants people to go watch her on YouTube. She thinks this is her opportunity for fame. So let's go listen to that.
Mostly avoiding the comments because obviously they're crazy right now. But there's someone spamming something that's saying that the documentary is becoming the Rosie show. And I really want to reiterate something that I feel very strongly, and I've said many times. I feel like the people that are centering me and making it all about me are girl. I have talked about it on my platforms because I am involved. I have kept a lot to myself because there's a lot that I could say and do to make this so much more about me.
The reason that people keep thinking it's the Rosie show is you literally said, I have a subplot in this. You literally said, and in my interviews, I shared so much personal information about myself, so much personal stuff about my stories. People think you're making this about you because you're currently in the live stream of the man who did the dark criminal behaviors. Allegedly. Like, that's why people think you're making this about you, Rosie.
I'm purposefully withholding because it's not about me. This project is so much bigger than I think everyone involved. I think it is a lot bigger than that. And that's my stance and opinion on it. And I do not think this is the Rosie show. My channel's the Rosie show on YouTube. That's where the Rosie show is. I host it. It's mine. That's my platform. I am the dictator. I am the star. That's where I'm at. Everywhere else.
Go follow Rosie. Go follow Rosie on quirkyloverosie.com. That's not her website, actually, but you can find her on the YouTubies.
It's that soft case. And I think that people do that. I think that there is a huge campaign to discredit me and villainize me and twist my stories, twist my life, twist my trauma to make me...
She's being gang-stalked. She's being cyber-stalked. They're out to get her. They're twisting her words.
Villain that they are trying to replace Amberlynn for because of everything going on with her. So,
girl, you'll never replace... You could never be Amberlynn Reed.
There are some things that have truth to them that are deeply distorted. There are some things that are true. And there's a lot more lies than everything else. And all I can ask is that when people are coming directly to my channel, coming to me, interacting with me in spaces like this or in other places, that you give me a chance to show you who I am. That's it. That's all I ask for. But
and that's in essence kind of a little bit on the other side the same with Stefan, right? Like a lot of people.
All right. Well, there you go. The one last part I want to be at is where I have so many things written on this little piece of paper, and now I don't know. Oh, there's the timestamp. The timestamp where Michael is in the chat, because I know he tries to get guested, and they don't let him, and I just want to see what he's saying. I just want to see in real time what he's saying. All right, so I pulled it up. You can, if you can't see it on the screen, I have screenshots of some of the things he said, so I'll just like pop them up too. But right now in the chat, it says, Rosie, can you talk about the false allegations you made about my friend Zach? Let's go.
Right.
Well,
That's a very valid
part of the
point.
trailer. And that's why I'm saying this. I think this was very important and it was very productive after all for Rosie to first of all say that in the chat and finally actually talk to me, and then come in the box and clarify these things, because we all didn't know. It was never clarified. There was a bunch of.
Ooh, somebody did say at Michael B. Petty. Ooh, T, can you go up? That must have been when he decided to start trying to get guested.
Crazy shit going down on the internet. A lot of assumptions. A lot of statements of things, and I do. Wait, what happened?
Star bounce.
Oh, dropped. Okay. I do agree that, like, you know, certain people came here and then ran all these allegations for attention.
right, but you were saying that I'm the kind of person that would lie about SA just based off of a quote in the trailer.
Based off of things I was told, that you're supposedly doing.
And you're saying that, you know, when I was doing the same thing, that, you know, that I think it's important that to acknowledge that one of my biggest issues with you is I have seen you in several occasions deflect and not hold yourself accountable to real things, like something like that. I would never say that about someone. Period. Those types of words would never leave my mouth about a person.
I mean,
it was incredibly disrespectful.
Allegedly you did. That's the thing. I was going off of somebody else's gossip about you, and I did say that. So if you know, obviously I was saying that based off of anger, which I told you, I apologize for coming at you the wrong way. You know, like I want us to be clear.
Okay, I thought that maybe the chats were a little bit more in succession. So let me end the screen recording right here, and I'll just tell you, because I have screenshots of the things that Michael was saying in our chat. If you're ready. So yeah, so obviously it started with the one that I just read, but he also says, she literally has gone around from platform to platform making monstrous fake allegations. He says, let me up, babe. At one point, he said, Rosie, didn't you say that all gay men hate fat women? You make horrific generalizations as well. And she did actually respond in the chat to him and said, that's not what I said. He also said, are you serious? We are talking about false allegations, are we not? He also said, so Rosie will talk to someone that she believes abused women, but not me. Make it make sense. I gotta say, not giving a gay black man a voice during Pride Month is actually wild, but go off. Let me play my microscopic violin for you, Rosie. What are you so scared of? I haven't even uploaded a video in 6 years, LOL. And so, just so you all know, Michael's still out here. He's still out here. He's keeping up with the shenanigans of Girl World for quite literally just the love of the game.
Right now there's 3 people requesting. What do I do? There's a girl named Alyssa, and there's somebody, Michael B. Petty. Do you know
a prior Girl World reactor.
Yeah, that's the one that she does not want to speak with, I believe.
I will drop if those people are.
What about Alyssa? Who's Alyssa?
I don't know who Alyssa is.
Alyssa, can you let me know, like, do you have a question for me? Do you have a question for Rosie?
This isn't a platform for Girl World to put me on the stake. Sorry, that's not. I'm not playing those games. I'm not doing it. That's not what they're trying. They're doing what they always do.
I see that. I see that. I see that. Why? Obviously, this is tricky. You know, I'm finding myself in the position right now of, Fupa.
It's very annoying because she's going to just drop out anytime someone comes up that she doesn't like. It's very fucking pussy of her. Pussy bitch behavior, Rosie.
You know, trying to like appropriately or like respectfully moderate that. I don't want anybody up here just coming at you for some beef that that has nothing to do with us.
Because none of them are able to be respectful. Like as you've seen both times, they are unable to be respectful. They just come at me. And I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in having anything other than a respectful conversation, which is one of the reasons why until tonight I wasn't interested in talking to you, because I didn't believe that was possible, to be honest.
If they are respectful, are you open to talking with them, or no, you just don't want to speak with them at all?
Not on this platform. Not right now.
Yeah, TikTok. I don't think TikTok is appropriate for that. Like it would have to be. I know your stance on lolcow. I was going to say, if anything, like they would be able to moderate that maybe, but I also respect you not wanting to go on there.
Never.
Yeah.
I will never support Keemstar.
Anyways, that's all I have time for today. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you all agree with me that Rosie is crazy for doing this live stream. Just makes no sense to me. Anyways, that is all I have time for, so if you're brand new to my channel, consider subscribing down below. Hit the bell button so you get a notification every single time I post a new video. Make sure to leave me a comment, hit like, click share, and follow me on all my social media. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!